Ooh, it smells and feels like a sauna in here, and I've even got my long sleeve shirt on. I'm sweating like a big dog. Okay. Hey, I said, hope you're learning some exciting things. Exciting to the fact that, hey, doesn't everybody want to learn how to save money or how to make money? You're actually making money when you're working for yourself. Did you know that? You're making money and you're saving money because you're not having to pay anybody. Okay. Even though this still looks like it's drying, it's still hard enough to scrape off. See, on the outside edges, you'll know when it's dry all the way. It'll be like that. But see, right here, it's still drying in the thick spots because that's where the deep impressions were. But I believe I can still lightly go over it and just check it, do a once over to make sure that I have any high ridges on there, and I can scrape them off. Let's see, there's a couple down there, and I'll be able to scrape them smooth. So that when I put the next coat on, it's going to go on nice and smooth. You know, I did a pretty good job on the first coat. I could probably put the tile, the tile on over that. You know, it should be fine, really, in reality. And do I have to go over the black line? I don't really have to do that. That's going to be behind the tile. But until I do the tile, this is what I'm going to see, you know, until we get the tile. And so I can either go over it with the coat, leave it. I could go over it with the coat and then slap some paint on here in case it's a month down the road before. Oh, there's a spot right there. Before the grout goes, before the tile goes on, let's say. I could do that, couldn't I? If I wanted. And if I do that, when's the best time to do that? Before I take up this plywood, right? Oh boy. I might do that just so Mommy doesn't have to see these walls in this condition for a month. You know what I'm going to be hearing every day when she's out here with her new counters? She's going to be like, when are you going to be getting that tile? When are you going to be getting that tile? Well, that might be a good thing too. Okay. A little bug in my ear. I'm not going to do this tile. I'm going to get some guy. He helped do something for the plumber out here when they put the new tankless water heater in, and he had to have a guy come out here to help him do a portion of it. And the guy's a handyman in town with his license, and I got his card and stuff, and he does all kinds of stuff. And one of the things I thought of was this tile. I said, "Do you do tile?" He says, "Yeah." And he's got a tile saw and everything. So I think he's going to be the one doing it. I'm going to be like his little helper. And hopefully I'll be able to run the camera while he's doing some of the work. Yeah, this is actually looking really good. Okay? But because I'm the guy I am, I'm going to put a second coat on there. Just to make it a little bit smoother and have it look halfway decent for after the counters go in. Okay? And then I can decide. I'll decide painting it. If I do paint it, put two coats on there, it's not going to cover that black line very well, so I may have to you know, spend a little bit extra time with my sheetrock with the Fix-It-All on this next coat and cover that black line up too. I think that's what I'll do with that. Well, I went over this one more time with a fine-tooth comb and saw just a couple little areas, but overall that stuff worked pretty good. Now, here's one of the things I wanted to tell you. Even though it's still drying, this stuff is hard, and you can put another coat on before it's dry 100%. It kind of works like quickset. If this was regular drywall mud, of course you couldn't put the next coat on over this and expect it to be smooth, because as regular sheetrock drywall joint compound dries, it shrinks. And so you think it's smooth, you turn around, okay, yeah, that's all good and fine and dandy, and the next day you look at it and you think, hey, what happened? It's all caved in. Well, that's because it shrunk, okay, and it dove in where the thick areas are. This stuff here is not going to shrink after you put it on. That's another good thing to use this, as well as quickset for your underlayment, not for your finished mud. You would have to put another coat over this, and then as that's drying a little bit, you look at it, and then you could put a first coat of drywall mud over that, knowing that it's not going to shrink, you know, for the next day. But hey, this is not a video on how to patch drywall for it ready to be painted on a wall and a drywall patch. This is slightly different because I don't have to be as particular about this, because eventually all I wanted was for this to be smooth enough for tile to go up the wall, and I've achieved that right now. I don't have to do anything, even if there's some imperfections. Here's an imperfection here and there. There's one. There's one. There's a little bit. But it's smooth enough. You see? It's smooth enough. There's an imperfection. There's one there. There's a little one there. That's smooth enough to glue and put tile on the walls. But I'm going to do one more coat just because I'm in it and I have the material here. I'm all set up to do it. It's not going to take me that long. It'll make it look that much better, especially for the fact, like I say, after the countertops go in, it could be another month or two, or who knows how long, before we put the tile up under here. We're going to have to go to the tile stores, different hardware stores, and look at different ones before we make a decision and get the guy lined up to do it. We have to make sure. Here's the other thing. We have to. This is a microwave, and this is the old microwave. We ordered a new microwave, but it's not here yet. And I told the guys that I'm going to have them take the old microwave down and put the new one up while they're here when they deliver the microwave. That way I don't have to mess with it. I've installed microwaves before. They're kind of heavy and awkward, and you have to hit the studs back in there and all that kind of good stuff. I could have done it, but I thought, they weren't going to charge that much. And I says, okay, fine, do it. And we don't have the stove yet. And the stove's been back ordered. So until the stove gets here, I don't know how far I can put this tile. I don't want to go the tile down too far and then have the stove not be able to push up tight against the wall. I think there's a definite area where I've got to stop so that they can push the stove all the way up against the wall, because there's kind of a notch in the back of the stove for that. And so another reason why I want to finish this out a little bit better, and then I'll end up painting this. I've got my paint, and I'll do that before I pull this plywood up. Then at least for the next 2 or 3 months, however long it takes to get the appliances, at least this will be painted. It won't be textured. I mean, this wall has texture on it. I'm not going to go that far, but I'll do it and make it look nicer than what it is. So at least it'll look halfway decent for the next few months with the new countertops. Yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. Well, a half hour later, and there you go. And I got it plenty smooth. It's not 100% perfect, but I don't really care if it's 100% perfect because the tile's gonna go up there. I'm gonna end up painting it. I could go over this 2 more times and get as smooth as a baby's butt if I wanted to, but it's not gonna serve any purpose. There's texture on the walls, and this is just gonna be painted. I'm going to end up painting this, and I told you if you paint over this, it's not really going to blend in with everything else, but it's down low, it's underneath this, and I'm not going to paint any higher than it. Well, I might, I don't know. And it's just going to be there for the time being, and it's going to look better than nothing, you know, until the tile goes up. And it's got a few ridges on it and stuff. And those ridges are going to grab the glue, the same with the spray texture knockdown that's on the existing walls. Can you tile over painted walls? I believe you can, if you get the right stuff. And so that's all I'm going to do today. I let this dry. I went over it with a putty knife and just kind of smoothed it, you know, on the transitions and stuff all the way around, and that's it. I've got to find room in the garage for this. Momi's home now, and I'm going to have her help me with this. I told her it's heavy, and we'll be able to kind of shimmy it over this way maybe, or this, I think this way, and then I'll lift it. We'll lift it right in here and take it out to the garage, you know. But I think tomorrow, what my game plan is, I'll go ahead and paint this, and I'll put 2 coats, and I've just got a little mini roller and a little paintbrush, and I can spruce it up and make it look just fine. And then I'll tackle pulling this plywood off. You know, the countertop guys, they wanted the plywood off. They said we like it where it's just the cabinets, no plywood on top of it. And I'm like, okay. I would much prefer just leaving it the way it is, and then having them glue on top of that. But then they have to do their edging different to cover up the 3/4 inch plywood on down, and their transitions are slightly different, and they like to do it this different way. So I'm kind of curious how it's going to look overall. I think it's going to look fine, but when I take the plywood off, I'm just going to have to be careful, because this is going to be freestanding then, and I got 4 corbels on the other side over here, you know, that hold up the counter. See, there's 3, and that one 4, and so I'm going to have to be careful when I'm pulling that off, and hopefully those corbels don't move on me. I don't think they will. And this piece of plywood here, I know in the back from about there to there, boom, boom, there's nothing back there, because this is real springy. When I was taking the concrete off, I noticed that, and I'm like, oh, brother. So I'll have to put some cleat material on the wall for that, you know, just to be on the safe side. I'll probably end up doing that, and I'll have time for that, because I've got the weekend, and then Monday, the guys will be here. So, hey, I'm still on schedule, and I'm glad I started on Tuesday when I did. It gives me a couple extra days to work on it. Okay, well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Hope to see you then. That is gonna be heavy.